Nature is giving us a free gift right now that you need to take advantage of. There are many ways to use leaves in your garden and on your homestead. So we're going to go through and talk about many different ways to use leaves. With most of these methods, your best bet is going to be to chop your leaves up. That's easy enough whether you want to use your lawnmower or a weed whacker and a barrel. But if you're lazy like me, you still got many options. Let's start out with one of my favorites. I got some leaves here that I chopped up with a weed whacker. They stay dry inside this barrel and I use them all season. These shredded leaves make a fantastic mulch. I love using these to mulch my garlic and just about everything throughout the season. The worms love this stuff and they're going to turn it into free fertilizer for the plants. It helps keep a lot of the weeds out. We can take the whole leaves and use them for weed suppression. So if you have pathways like I do with wood chips, you can come through here, put a nice thick layer of leaves down, then you come back and you put your wood chips on top of these, and it's really going to help suppress those weeds. Leaf mold and worm castings, both great items. I set up this ring here made out of chicken wire, and I'm just stacking full leaves into it, and I'm just going to let these sit here. So when it gets warmer in the spring, or maybe even throughout the winter, we're going to have worms coming up in here, and they're going to be eating these leaves. Eventually, at some point, the whole center of this pile is going to be worm castings. Simultaneously, we're going to have leaves breaking down on their own. These are going to form leaf mold. If you don't want to set up a ring and have it sitting in your yard all season, you can also use a black plastic bag. So you can fill that with leaves, poke some holes in it, and just let it sit outside. It's going to take you about a year or two, but when it's all finished, you're going to have some awesome leaf mold. Check out what we did here. Using the mower to cut the grass and the leaves, we have made ourselves a nice compost mix. Compost breaks down a lot faster when you chop everything up, and we even mixed our browns and greens while doing that. Let's look at all that good stuff. Just look at this awesome compost we can make from that stuff. That mixture with the browns and greens helps us get a super hot pile, so everything breaks down really quick. This has been aging for about a year now, and it is beautiful, rich compost, full of life. I don't think people realize how nutritious leaves are for your compost. They're a free resource. Get them in your compost pile. Now, what if you are some sort of maniac that doesn't want to compost? Here's our lawnmower mix. We're going to take this. It doesn't matter if you're growing in the ground or raised beds. You just take this stuff and just coat it all over the surface. This is called compost in place, and although it's kind of lazy, it's arguably the best way to compost. Last year, I coated all these in-ground beds here with about 12 inches of this stuff, and by mid-season, you wouldn't even know that. It was all gone. It gave me an early season mulch, but by mid-season, it turned into fantastic topsoil. If you don't live in an HOA, besides the egg benefits, chickens are a gardener's best friend. It might be hard to believe, but it only takes the chickens 2 weeks to turn this stuff into usable compost. I give my chickens pretty much everything. Food scraps, any yard waste, doesn't matter. It goes inside the chicken run. This is a covered run, but after 2 weeks, the chickens turn this into beautiful compost. This is why I no longer have compost piles. I'm tearing them apart. I take all this stuff, I just put it in the chicken run. I don't even have to mix it up. I just make a big pile, and the chickens are going to show up, and they're going to mix this for me. The best part about the chickens is you don't even have to chop this stuff up. I just like throwing it in there because the chickens like to eat the grass clippings. You can see a lot of the base of this part of my chicken composting system is all full leaves. The chickens scratch, they break it down for me. And this is in my uncovered run. So you can do it in a covered run or an uncovered run. A common question is, what do you put as a substrate in your run to stop it from being muddy? The answer is anything organic. Compost with your chickens. Even if you're not going to use the compost stays at the right moisture levels and keeps their feet dry. The perfect chicken run floor. Let's head inside the chicken run. I don't know how this woolly bear caterpillar got in here, but let's get him out. Does your chicken coop smell like? We got a solution for that. The chickens sleep here at night, so they are all over the place. We're gonna make some compost lasagna. So what I do is I take some dried leaves and I spread them across the bottom, and the chickens are gonna sleep up here and they are going to on the floor. And as they do it, I'm just gonna keep stacking these leaves on top of it. Leaves are carbon because carbon traps odor. Your chicken coop will not smell if you do this. You might be thinking, well, Robbie, I don't have any trees. All you gotta do is drive around and people are putting leaves on the side of the road in paper bags. Grab those bags and put them to good use. Thanks for watching.